Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for being here. I know you saw the title and it's different content for me. Today, first, we're going to unbox the Our Place Always Pan. I have been wanting to try this and I just finally broke down and picked it up. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna unbox this and within the next few days, I'm gonna use it. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it together as one video. I have been thinking about doing some cooking on the channel or thinking about whether I should just do it on another channel. So let me know below what you guys think about this after you see it. And let's get in here and see what this is all about. So as I open this, I want to let you guys know this is not a sponsored video. Our Place does not know me. I bought this with my own monies. They offered me nothing to make this video. It's just something that I really had a lot of interest in and I finally bought for myself and I thought, you know what, if I wanted it that much, other people have to be out there wondering if it's really worth the money too. So why not make a video out of it? As I'm talking, I'm trying to pull. It comes with a really neat pull tab, but it's so strong I can't get it. When we open it up, this is what we've got. Cool. Welcome to Our Place. And it says, we saved you a seat. At Our Place, we believe the strongest connections are made over a home-cooked meal. That's why we create products that make home cooking simpler and more joyful. All right, so can you see? There you go. Yeah, you can see right on top, I chose it in, shocker, I chose it in what they call char, which is their black. It comes in some really cool colors. I'll try and put them up here for you. It comes in coral and blue and red. It comes in a lot of cool colors. My theme in my kitchen though, everything I pretty much have is either silver or black. So I had to go with the what they call char. So I didn't know whether it would lean more toward black or charcoal, but it was pretty much the same. So this is on top of the lid. I'm gonna take the lid out. Oh, it's very light. I expected it to be so heavy. Oh, so it is. It's more of a charcoal. I'm wearing like a heathered grayish charcoal. What's black? Do I have something here that's really black? I would sure like to define the difference for you guys. I'm going to show you something. This seems odd. This is a lid on a hairspray that I keep here in case this all goes amok. This is a true black. Can you, I don't know if you can see the difference. See, this is a little darker than this. It's just kind of what they call char. I mean, it's black, don't get me wrong, but it leans charcoal instead of leaning really like an ebony black. I'll take the bottom out. And that's my pan. Oh, it feels different. I don't know why. I didn't expect the handle. It's silicone feeling. I didn't think it was going to be. I thought it was going to feel the same as the rest of the pan. That's awesome. Okay, let me set this aside. As I was moving the big box away, it caught my eye. I almost forgot one of the most fun things about this. It comes with its own spoon, spatula. I'll show you that in a second. When I knew I was going to come up and make this video, I made a few notes. So first, I will finish the unpacking and show you guys that it has a piece of cardboard in here that says nesting steamer basket for dumplings, vegetables, and more. And that's what this is. And also, its handles up top feel like they're coated in a little bit of something. That's great. And then protecting the inside of the pan from that, from shipping, that is what the inside of my pan looks like. If you get a lighter color, the color on the inside is also a little lighter. The bottom you can see is just the aluminum disc. I'm so excited. I have wanted this for probably a year. I have been thinking seriously about getting it. It's a little pricey. It's $145 unless you can find a discount code. Because I purchased this, having nothing to do with being an affiliate or anything else, I do have a code. I will put it down below. It will get you $20 off. If you find a better code, use the better code. But if you want to try this, and $20 is the best code you can find because I wanted it for a long time where I couldn't find any codes. So I have a $20 code down below if you'd like to try it. This says the Always Pan is designed to help you do more with less. So get ready to steam, saute, braise, fry, stew, boil, sear, serve, store, and more. And that's kind of like, spoiler alert, they say it replaces, I think, 8 pans. And then we have our spatula. And the beauty of this spatula is it's always handy. And I know you guys have probably seen this on Instagram. It's really nice. I think they say it's a beechwood spatula, but again, I have notes over there. And it just fits. See how it has this little bump right there? Oh, better like that. The hole in this fits down on that. So it's always there for you. And then the lid has a little notched out area. Oh, perfect. Has a little notched out area, so when you set it on, it just really easily settles right over where that is. And that is what my new Always Pan looks like. Oh, there's a sticker. What does the sticker say? It's very small. I bet it says caution, this pan gets hot. Oh, this handle, I bet it says. Caution, handle gets hot when cooking. So this one back here is coated in a little bit of silicone. This one feels just like the pan. This one, when you're cooking, don't grab it. It's gonna be hot. Kind of like I have a cast iron pan. Same thing, it has that same handle. I wish I could say I had never grabbed it. Just for the record, because I know I personally find it really annoying when it doesn't work, I just peeled that off and it peeled off really nicely. The notes that I made that I wanted to remember to tell you guys was that it can be used as a fry pan, saute pan, steamer, skillet, saucier, saucepan, nonstick pan, spatula, and spoon rest. Spoon rest with their own spoon. It is exclusive non-stick, non-toxic ceramic coating made without potentially toxic materials like PFOAs, PTFEs, or other PFAs, lead, cadmium, toxic metals, or nanoparticles. It has a nesting beechwood spatula with the integrated spoon rest. We saw that. It has a custom stainless steel steamer basket. It is a sturdy aluminum body for fast, even heat. It has a lightweight construction, 3-pound body. Yes, I can easily throw this around. Some of my cast irons, like my mom has a Le Creuset that's about this size. It takes both of us to lift it. It is so incredibly heavy. This is not heavy. A modular lid to let off steam when you want to, lock when you want to, pour spouts because nobody likes a mess. So both sides have pour spouts. I think I'm gonna make a pasta dish in this so that we can use the steamer basket and then make something in the bottom. So we will probably get to try the pour spouts. It is compatible with all cooktops. It is a 10-inch diameter, 2.7-inch in depth, and 2.6 capacity. And they say that you should use it on medium to low heat, that it heats up so well that you only have to cook on medium to medium low, and you cannot, and this was the only disappointing part for me, you can't use it in the oven. Probably because of what this handle back here that doesn't get hot is made out of. That's probably why you can't use it in the oven. When they show the video sometimes, and we're gonna try this I think, they fill this with water and then put the pasta in here and just set it in it, and you can see how far down in it sets. And they just boil their pasta right in here, and then they lift their pasta out, pour the water off, and then make their sauce in here, and then just put the pasta back in here to reheat it. I think we're gonna make something like that. So far, out of the box, I am really pleased with this. Let's look at the paperwork they sent to be sure we're not missing anything. You might need this, and it is a natural sponge, and it says made for scrubbing away at the dishes you left to soak in the sink. Soak sponge in water to activate and get scrubbing. So I imagine that you can't use just any old thing to scrub this out, so that's why they give you this. And that is what that looks like. This basically just tells you what I told you. They would prefer you wash it by hand, so I would technically say then it's not dishwasher safe. So if that's a deal breaker for you, I don't think you're intended to put it in the dishwasher. They say because it's so nonstick, a little fat goes a long way. If you use any, you never need more than a tablespoon or 2. So I think until we start cooking, that's all there is to know about this. So you get the pan, the steamer, and the spatula with it, and of course the lid. They also sell at the site, and the minute I placed this order, I was sad I didn't order it. They also sell a steamer that's the wooden steamer that you could do like fish in and then veg above it. It's a nice stacked steamer, and it was only like $30, and I didn't pick it up, and now I'm super sad. I'm gonna have to go back in and buy that. And they also sell dishes. They have really cool looking plates and bowls and cups that it's just everything aesthetically about this caught my eye. So we're gonna give this a try, so let's go downstairs and do it. Okay guys, we're downstairs now, and that's the Always pan. The pan behind it, actually, I meant for it to be a part of the unboxing. I got that out of the GlossyBox marketplace, and isn't it gorgeous? It's green. It's the only color they had left, and that wouldn't have been my first choice, but it's so pretty. I love the wood handles. Anyway, back to the Our Place. I'm going to take this and fill it up with water, get to a boil, and then I'm gonna cook pasta in this strainer like they say we can. And then I'm just gonna take it out and reserve it over there while we do the rest of the cooking in the pan. So let's get that started. So we are full of water now. I'm gonna set this to boil, and I just realized that for the recipe, I have fettuccine. It calls for linguine, so it would be a little bit smaller, but we're gonna use the fettuccine that I have. So we will get this boiling, we'll get some pasta in it, and then we'll use the pan. Have our water at a boil. It's presenting an interesting it's presenting an interesting issue. You can see that the bubbles from the boiling all want to come out around the edges because they can't really come up through the mesh strainer. Okay, so once I put the pasta in this, we will see how this does. But we do have this nice spatula that came with the pan. All right, we'll see how this does once it comes back to a boil with that pasta in there. I don't know that this was necessarily how going forward I will choose to make my pasta, This would be really good for like steaming veg or making wontons. But first time out, we wanted to try it forever. While we are waiting for the water to come to a boil, I have gotten most of the other ingredients together, and I also need a small onion chopped, and the recipe calls for you to just butterfly a whole chicken breast, and then you end up slicing it afterwards. But I have made this recipe before, and after I was done, I remember thinking I wish that it had more flavor on it. So I'm gonna actually cut my chicken before I mix it with the oil and the seasonings that it goes into. Okay, so we have our one small onion. Let's slice up the chicken breast. This calls for a 9-ounce piece of chicken. This is one of those chickens that you wouldn't want to run into in a dark alley because you just know he could take you. But I'm just gonna slice it really thin, just like this. And we'll do that with all of it, and then we'll put it in the seasoning mix. Okay, so our chicken breast is sliced, and we're going to go ahead and just mix it up with 2 teaspoons of olive oil, a half a teaspoon of paprika, and a half a teaspoon of cayenne. I've got the chicken in the bowl. I'm just gonna put these seasonings on top of it and toss it up. And then once our pasta is done, we will just saute this up. I've gotten everything else that we need for the recipe ready. So as soon as we have boiled pasta, we will move on. Pasta is done. So what we're gonna do now is we'll use the spoon that came with it. I decided I didn't want it sitting and steaming over that hot water the whole time. It just didn't feel like something that would be good for wood. But I am gonna use it, to lift this out. And then I'm probably gonna have my husband ditch that water because I fear the pan will be a little unwieldy. The first thing we're gonna do is, since we have our nice hot pan here, we're gonna go ahead and put this chicken, which we just coated with the spices of paprika and cayenne that were in olive oil. So we will see how non-stick this is. This is our first test. So let's see how it does. The recipe for this says you can use a whole breast and then you slice it. After I made it last time, I decided that if I sliced it and then seasoned it, see how it's all coated in all the spices and oils? So it should be better. There are a couple of things about this recipe that I did change. And a little bit I will add what they say is meant to be heavy cream. I used whatever I have around. Today, I'm using half and half. Last time I made this, I used 2% milk and it was still delicious. So I wouldn't buy anything special for this. I will link the recipe though below so that if you decide this is something you'd like to try, you will have the actual recipe and not just something that I've messed with. This is not even thinking about sticking. Of course, it was coated in oil. You put the seasonings in the oil and then you toss the chicken in it, but still. So when we flip it over, it's already looking good. See how pretty? So all I did when I lifted the pasta out of here is I left it in its little basket and set it right on a dinner plate. Another upside to slicing this first is this is going to cook up in no time. I just realized that I did not give you guys the name of this pasta, and it's just spicy chicken and pasta, and I will put the link down below. I am betting that this is done. Since it was sliced, I think it cooked up in no time. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out of here because next we're going to put in butter and our onions. I'm just going to remove it to a plate and we will press on. Moving on, we're going to use a tablespoon of butter. And to that, we are going to add 1 small onion. I think small is probably in the eye of the beholder. I think probably I, because I love onions, think that this is a tiny onion. I think my husband, who is helping us behind the camera today, thinks this is a huge onion because he is not a fan of cooked onions. So we will just let this get tender and translucent. And then we will add lots of, oh, it already smells good. We will add lots of goodies to it. See how it's picking up that nice red from all the seasonings that were left behind with the chicken? Oh my gosh, it already smells good with the butter and the onion. I'm looking at him and he's like, sure. All right, those are getting pretty translucent, so I think I will get the spices to add to this. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna add more seasoning. We have a teaspoon of minced garlic and a half a teaspoon additional red pepper flakes. So if you are not a fan of spicy, you're gonna wanna leave some of the spices out of it, because so far we had cayenne in what we marinated the chicken in, and we're adding red pepper flake now. My husband and I both love really spicy things though. I suspect, because I didn't measure, that I also used more than a teaspoon of garlic, because do you like garlic, or do I use too much garlic to suit you?
I love garlic.
Okay, good. We love garlic. Next, I also take a left-hand turn off of the recipe. It calls for 2 ounces of sun-dried tomatoes and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I prefer just to use regular tomato sauce. I like sun-dried tomatoes. He's not a huge fan, so I just put a regular red sauce in it. If you wanted to use sun-dried tomatoes and tomato paste, you would probably even get a deeper flavor. Next, we are adding a 1/4 cup of dry white wine. Now, as you can tell from looking at this, it is actually not a white wine, it is a blush. If you have a wine open and it's in the white wine range, I would say just use that. So we add that and we just let the alcohol burn off for a couple of minutes. This pan is so hot though, I think it's gonna burn off in no time. I will say, the pan did come to temp and is keeping the temp really, really well. It's a nice even heat. I can tell it's boiling all the way around, so it's great even heating. So now we are adding the 2/3 cup heavy cream and 1/3 cup chicken stock. And I just put them both in the same bowl just for ease of showing this. And then we're gonna add our chicken and all of its juices back into. Be sure and get all those juices because there's a lot of flavor in that juice. Give it a good stir, get everything coated and everything mixed. Okay, all we have now to do is add the pasta back to the pan, and it has been sitting over here long enough while we did all of that I can actually easily pick it up. This worked for this recipe because I knew I'd have the hot sauce. You're not always making pasta that you would want to sit around, but we will get this back in there and good and stirred in. And this will technically have been a 1-pan meal. I want to get that pasta good and back down in that sauce because it's been sitting out for a few minutes while we made our sauce. So get it nice and hot. Okay, I'm gonna let this come back up to a little bit just shy of a boil because I think my mother always told me not to let milk boil. Is that true? I feel like that's true. All right, I can see it start to bubble up just a skosh. So in the end, you put 1 ounce of Parmesan in it. Normally, I would use shredded Parmesan, but what I have today is this nice grated, so that's what we're gonna use. And that's gonna give it a little more thickness and saltiness.
So again, this is just spicy chicken pasta. I will put the link down below. If you have any interest in the pan, I will put a link down below where you can go check it out. And I will put a discount code, no affiliate, paid my own money for this. But if you have any interest, I'll make it easy for you with the link.
And we are ready to go. This is really close to like a vodka sauce. You know, it's nice and pink. You could use more tomato sauce and less cream if you wanted to make it a more red sauce. I play with all my recipes. I just make them what I think we'll like. Okay, let's plate this up and talk about this pan. So plated up, that is what's for dinner. It is fettuccine with a spicy chicken and a spicy sauce. What it needs over it now, wouldn't it look gorgeous? Just gorgeous. If there was some parsley or something tossed on top, it would be perfect. Yeah, I just realized I don't have any of that. So we're gonna eat it looking like that. It's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but if you like spicy things and pasta, I'm pretty certain you'll like it. And then the pan. This is what I think. I liked it. I would not probably do what I did today again. If I were making a long pasta like this one, I think I would go ahead and go to the trouble of boiling it in a separate pan. It just took so much water and you had to stir it a lot more because since it wasn't bubbling up straight through the bottom, it just wanted to stick together. And as you can see, I got it so that it wasn't stuck together, but it took a little more attention than it normally would. And when I'm in here cooking, I don't want to be paying attention to pasta. As far as the pan goes with heating and cooking nonstick and all of those things, It was really neat. And I liked having the spatula that went with it, and it holds a lot. And I don't know if you guys can tell how big it is. It's a 10-inch pan, and I was gonna say, because I bet those are at least 12-inch tongs. So it looks bigger than what you're seeing right there. So that's our first what's for dinner with the Always pan. I think I'm gonna do more of this. Let me know below what you think. I just did this today with my iPod. I had my husband help me. It was all very different. But if this is something that you would like to see more of, just let me know below. Thank you so much for coming by. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll know when I have more videos coming out, and I'll see you guys really soon. Take care.